Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Goldgeist,
Here.
Ransom,
Here.
DeBrey,
Here.
Roach,
Here.
Camp,
Here.
Mayor Norcross.
Here. Everybody please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Now for a moment of silence. Some of you may know that my dear mother-in-law passed this week. Dear lady, never crossword and loved dogs and children immensely. But I thought that might be appropriate, but no one knows it but me. And then I thought, well, she would probably prefer that we would recognize somebody who just had it before. Karen. What's your son's name? Our daughter's name. Daughter. What is it? River Joy. River Joy. And your sisters are all happy. Brother.
You're the jack.
I think I forget it right. I'm gonna sit down. So let's have a moment of silence for Jared, River Joy, and for Jeremy's family. Thank you. We are missing two from the diocese tonight. One will be Commissioner Dave 930. He is on a mission quest with his family out west. He's having a video clips of the UV vacation. He's reluctant to acknowledge him. And then of course, Tyler got passed. He was driving north to Traverse City for the city managers conference with Kevin and obviously that's not opportunity for him to go to one session and then he disappeared. So we're gonna have an abbreviated session tonight. We should get through a whole in 30 minutes. I would ask for motion to approve the agenda. So smart. Move is supported. All those in favor of approving the agenda? Say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Just so you know that item number 10 was an addition, so we were looking for an email item number 10 is an addition on the agenda, which is the finance director, treasury appointment, Mr. Michael Jagger. Consent agenda items are city commissioner session minutes dated June 9th, city commission special session minutes dated June 23rd, planning commission meeting minutes dated June 17th, election commission meeting minutes dated 24th, accounts payable reviewed and approved during meetings by the finance committee and city manager, payment of bills in the sum of $486,000, 949.54. The ACH fund distribution of $107,354.88. Just as a matter of note, I go through all these minutes because I know some of you do, or maybe you don't. The planning commission was very extensive. There were a lot of public comments at that last public session, public hearing for the planning session. There were probably 3 hours of public comments. Larry and I had to sit through them all. If you get a chance, you might want to review those because there was a lot of public opposition to concerning the development. But I think there's one comment there that I didn't make that by the right, the developer could do something entirely different that would probably at least beneficial to the community at large. Because the current development preserves much of the green space instead of just being clear. So by right, we voted, I think the vote was 7-2, but I think that with those comments is very telling about some of the things that in regards to some of the developments ongoing. The other thing that's new, clerk, is the election commission meeting minutes. Is that a new delivery?
No, they just, only before every election, they have to approve, the election worker assignments, and then in this case, they also approve early processing for absentee ballots.
Okay.
State requirement.
State requirement. Very good. All those changes to the agenda, commission, consent agenda. For motion? Yeah. So move supported, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no, consent agenda items carried. Now, we have a presentation from Mr. Hong. Sarah, are you ready to reach the end?
Mr. Public comment.
What?
Public comment.
Oh, public comment. So anybody here, Brad? Our state records, right? You can see you get here, Brad. You want to speak to us?
I'd love to. Just a couple of quick updates, just to keep you in the loop what's happening in Lansing. Hopefully all of you have heard that we do have a budget. It's supposed to get signed on the 21st of this month by the governor. And at that point in time, it would be, all of the steps will be completed and put in place, October 1st. So we're glad for that. I'm happy that it's actually less than it was the year before and the year before that. So we're continuing to move in the right direction as far as I can see. I'm excited about that. I guess as excited as you can be about a budget that's got $75 billion in it, right? One of the things that we did get into the budget was a $500,000 water recharge study. So how do we recharge our aquifer? And so I've worked with Joe Bush on this and I was able to put that in the budget, get it through. And so we're going to be doing a study on how do we recharge our aquifer, the water that's there, taking water that would have gone into runoff and those kinds of things, and doing that. I chaired the corrections budget, so for me that was we were able to increase our corrections budget by a little, which is I think appropriate because our biggest cost is our staff. That's 13,000 people in your staff. Just trying to keep up with payroll advances is a tough thing in keeping it. At 1.5% was our total increase over that. PA 233 allows for, that's the act that allows the state to control where siting goes for solar sites, wind turbine sites, and data center sites. So the state gets the chance to choose whether they want those to go there or not. We're continuing to try and work with the Senate to see if we can get it. The House has already passed effort that would get rid of that PA 233. We're trying to work with the Senate to see if we can get them to do it as well, so we can get that to the governor for the end of the year.
So we get authority back to the local fingers.
So go back to the planning commission for each of the local units would then have control instead of having the state have control. Correct. And then the last thing is, you may have heard that in this last week, the governor vetoed 9 bills. And those were the 9 that didn't get handed to the governor from the last term by the then sitting House Speaker, Joe Tate. And I'm ecstatic about it because we've been putting in a whole bunch of dollars trying to fight lawsuits back and forth about did they have to turn them in, did they not, where do we go from here? By the governor vetoing them and saying, bring them back to me as new bills, it enabled us to get rid of all that legal challenge and it enabled us to move to a place where we won't, for sure in the House, we would not bring those bills back because there's a fair amount of expense to each one of those that, like to the tune of $40 million a year additional that we have to spend. So we're very happy that did to the results of that. And I'd be happy, Mr. Mayor, if you want to ask questions or.
Any comments from the commission? Appreciate you coming in here tonight, Brad. Maybe I'll see you at the all right. Then, Sarah?
Evening Commission. So I wanted to introduce my mom to you. He is our intern that we have had this summer. He's presented a little bit early in July instead of August for his big projects of the season because he's an RA. So he will be out and back at UMM for our August meetings. And he's just going to do a summary of his bigger projects and then a little bit about what he did.
You're resident of
Yes, yeah. Also, hopefully a research assistant, so you are guys.
That's a good start, I've been already for several years, so I get it.
Hopefully my residents are nice, and I don't have to deal with issues.
Very well.
I'll have to get some advice from you later.
You want, okay.
Yes, please.
Right, okay.
Good. Okay. So I'm here to introduce some of the deliverables and work I've been doing this summer, 2026. Yeah, always. Okay, there it is. Okay. So initially coming into the internship, my responsibility included 3 major projects. First is to tackle infill housing by densifying Hudsonville. Second is to create catalogs for pre-approved residential building plans. And lastly, to create pre-approved commercial building plans. So, yeah, always happens, right? Thank you. So on the residential controlled housing, our goal is to promote gentle density within our existing capacity after modification of the master plan and zoning ordinance in 2025, and to create more affordable housing. So that leads us to the initial action item of creating an additional review process and application with the primary goal of making sure new builds in these areas fit into the existing neighborhood characteristics of Hudsonville.
I don't know that it's in the way.
I believe in you, Joan, if you could just do it for me. Thank you. It's gonna, yeah. And on the second big project, the residential pre-approved building plan, with similar capacities, we also want to reduce approval time and increase streamlining to increase efficiency in the whole process. So we wanted to, with our initial action item, to create a catalog of pre-approved building plans that will save developers and potential home buyers months and thousands of dollars having to work back and forth with architects to reduce and streamline that review process. So we had some pivots after doing some research, talking to local developers, and talking to MEDC, Michigan Economic Development Corporation, and Michigan Municipal League. We came to the conclusion that the city of Hudsonville does not need pre-approved building plans. So we pivoted away from using pre-approved building plans to suffice infill housing issues into new strategy of recommending zoning ordinance changes and promoting ADUs and 2-unit dwelling units or duplexes. So with the zoning ordinance changes, we wanted to really narrow down and look at what we wanted to focus, which is the layout of the residential builds. We wanted to make sure new builds within medium density residential housing areas do not have the symptom of snout house, which is the over protrusion of garages from the front of the main structure that creates an unwelcoming overall atmosphere for the existing neighborhood, especially north of the town. We also did an evaluation to create a 2-tier system. So in south part of the town where low density residential is more prominent, there would not be, the homeowners would not be punished for having a protruding garage because the existing characteristics, most of the houses in the south of the city are step houses. And we also added resident facing quick guides to explain the differences between ADU and duplexes, and also showing them the process of converting their single family residential unit to a duplex to streamline the process. So now moving on to commercial pre-approved plans, so that timeline, this is what we're currently working on. Also with the same expectation to reduce initial approval time and making sure the new builds is our new downtown characteristics. Our initial goal was to also create a pre-approved building plan, but after talking to NEBC and MMO and the developers, we also pivoted away in the commercial pre-approved plan. So now the city is working with NEBC with the RRC designation. We have access to up to $35,000 funds. So we're currently using that in collaboration with Veritas, who are currently working on the development of Village Green. Our current mission right now is to align and synergize both NEBC and Progressive AE, who they are hiring to design the layouts and potential layouts around the development around downtown Village Green and Veritas Group. And the deliverables are to be determined. So other accomplishments besides the major projects, I had the privilege of touring some sites with my advisors. I had the opportunity to review some site plans and provide feedback to developers. I had the chance to answer some calls, answer some questions for permitting, building plans, site plans for residents and businesses. And I also had the opportunity to interact with some of the technologies such as Regulus for looking at feasibilities and layouts. That's it.
Very good. Any questions or discussion from the commission? No, thank you very much. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to be here.
Great job.
Thank you.
So we're gonna see you back next year?
Well, maybe, we'll see. I have no idea what next summer is gonna be like, so I would love to be back here though.
Very good.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, David.
yeah, you too.
Moving on to departmental reports, to public safety official reports. Chief Essenberg.
Evening. The report for June 2026, we ran 60 calls for service. As you can see on the sheet there, one of the things I highlighted was that we ran 330 arrests in 1 month, which was high for 1 month for us, but we were able to utilize the ADP and focus on all 3 of those calls.
So the Lucas was a good investment.
It was a great investment. It is, it's an amazing piece of equipment. So last night we went through our AED and CPR recertification again. So we're all trained in CPR, certified in, but when you're on scene with 2 or 3 people, that Lucas is like having 2 more people there. Amazing.
I'm curious how this is certified a year or it's like.
No, so we'll probably have to, maybe like 5. So we've added 2, probably in 3 years, we'll have to have it gone through. But I would just have it checked out and make sure it's like good.
Great investment.
Yeah. Oh, great investment. Yeah. The other thing I was gonna call attention to is if you look at the fire related type of calls, most times we'll get duplicates, like 2 fire alarms or whatever. It was all once right down there. It seemed like it was something different every time we got called out. So kind of never saw that before in 1 month as we track our calls. It was kind of interesting. It was something different every time. Not that that's important or bad, just having a neat background. Other than that, it was pretty much a normal month. There was a lot of training going on. We are in the middle yet of working through changing from IO to Bracer. That's been in my report a couple times. That's third-party reporting software where when businesses have their fire extinguishers or their fire alarm, or fire suppression system inspected, those reports have to come back to my office. In the past, we used to get them in an email, print them, store them. That's very cumbersome, very time consuming. So about a year and a half ago, we contracted with iGold, which was an online database. So now when an inspection is done, that report gets set to a database and I can look it up by address. So when I do my inspections, I just look on the database make sure everything's up to compliance. Iowa got purchased out by their competitor, Bracer. Bracer was another company that we looked at the time. No change in fees. We don't pay anything for that service. It's all borne by the company that does the inspection that submits the report. And of course, they pass it on to the business owner. It's $25 per report per year for them. So if you had 3 systems, you're paying $75 a year to have your reports uploaded. But there's quite a bit of work changing our database over now to Bracer, the new one's taking over. In fact, the changeover date is tomorrow. So we are good to go. It'll just be a little learning curve. But, yeah, once again, it's one of those things, if you don't have 2 more people in the office, you have to have somebody else working for you. So, works out very well.
Sorry, who's doing the input?
They're doing the, so when they do the inspection, if they would get like, well, here at City Hall, we use Summit. So Summit was here today to inspect our suppression system. They take that report, they upload it now to Bracer, and then I just get an email that says compliant or deficient. Anything that's deficient, Bracer automatically sends out a letter to them saying, hey, your system was found deficient, signed by me, it's all pre-done, and it follows up. And then I don't get a notification that it's deficient until it's like 45 days old, and then it's time to follow up with a site visit.
You see many of them?
Is that?
Do you see many of those?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I probably have 6 or 7 right now that are, there's different classifications of deficiency. They're not critical. Anything that's critical, we jump right on. So I have nothing that's critical right now, but there are ones that are deficient, and it's very minor things. And they have time to fix them. So we give them like 90 days to get it fixed, because they have to get quotes and that kind of thing. So they have to go through their process, but we just stay on top of it, keep monitoring. So useful tool.
Any questions for the chief? Discussion? One question, actually, does this extreme hot weather, bring other issues up that you normally don't see?
Yes, so there's a couple things that it brings to the forefront, dehydration, especially in our elderly patients. So we see that as a contributing factor to other underlying medical issues. But also, if we get called out to a fire scene, our personnel who can normally operate for 45 minutes to an hour will be cut down. And we need to have more people to backfill that water, sure, but they just don't have the stamina to carry through. So anytime we get something in this kind of heat, we're calling in for more resources just because we need it.
Chief, for your type of fire truck?
The fire truck, I actually went down there last week Thursday to take a look at it. It's not on the production floor yet, it's outside. So I don't have anything concrete to talk about with it, other than we brought down the radio, brought down the iPad, looked at flashlight placement in the cab. So starting to get excited because now we're getting close. Their estimation is it'll be on the production floor probably the first week of August. As far as making the body or the chassis part of it, 4 days to frame it, which I thought was pretty impressive. Our next trip down will be before they put the body on the chassis. So probably 3rd week of August, we heading back down to kind of go through it again. They sent me some drawings today that we have to approve. So we just, yeah, it's just little by little, but we're getting close. We're getting a lot closer now. Still looking at October, November timeframe. Hoping more towards the October than the November, just due to roads and weather and putting the truck out and practicing with it and that kind of stuff.
Any more thought on the old, thank you.
Probably gonna end up selling it unless I can find a department that has a great need and a sympathetic heart. But
It's really not worth very much.
It's not.
It's
not.
Department of North, that's
If the right thing came along, I would bring it to you and say, here's what we would like to do. But as far as monetary value, probably not much. The other thing we're working on right now is the turnout gear is pretty much here. We're waiting for a few pair of gloves yet and some suspenders. Hopefully in the next 7 to 10 days here, we'll have all that in place and get that out to the guys. As you know, that is covered by 2 grants, one from FEMA and then the other one from the state of Michigan DNR, covered another part of it. So about a $90,000 purchase that will end up costing us under 10. So very thankful for that. Yeah, that's stuff that we did a year ago is now coming to fruition. So that'll be new helmets, boots, coats, pants, gloves, everybody. 10 years. Yeah, it's supposed to last 10 years. Now, the helmets that we currently have lasted a little bit longer than that. So that's an NFPA standard, so it's not a law, but the standard is 10 years. And then they wanted to give it out again to, they have found that's kind of the number where they start to break down and the protection isn't there anymore for the airway. So we have a couple guys whose gear is 6 years, 7 years, and then the other ones are all 15 years and above. So it's time. And time goes fast.
And you got 2 cadets in the hopper?
2 cadets in the hopper, another good applicant. So we're still staying on that too, and trying to bolster the numbers there. We want to make sure we don't get too cadet heavy, but the right person, right place, we're definitely interested.
You did a great job managing your staff, the equipment, and grants. Steve.
A lot of fun.
Commission, very appreciative.
Thank you.
Anything else? Thank you, Chief. We on to the County Sheriff's Department. Meeting with them.
We mean, our report for our Eastern District for June, we ran 2,079 calls service for the summer. Things are hopping right along. We had 187 traffic crashes and unfortunately several fatalities. Not in our district. What we did is in our district, actually Georgetown area as well. We had 880 traffic contacts total in the Eastern District. For Hudsonville City specifically, we ran 231 calls for service, 128 enforcement, so traffic stops, traffic contacts, and then we ran 17 crashes in Hudsonville City and 31 medicals. Deputy Ryan Popma, our school resource officer for you guys, he made our SWAT team early last year. So he's doing a great job. He actually, some pictures on there, but he attended our week-long training down in Indiana, our 40-hour week-long training for our team. So he'll be even more well-trained for you guys and a great resource. Okay.
Just a general comment, the traffic flow on some of the heavier used roads seems to have been mitigated a little bit the last couple of months. And I think that's a reflection of the fact that a lot of you pull over to, I hate to say it's the only way you can get lines. But we really struggle with traffic.
For sure. Yeah, Dylan, definitely Dylan, right, Native and right, has been hammering traffic for you guys working nights, so it's keeping the numbers up quite high for the city.
Well, if I see a Hudson line, just
All right,
thank you.
thank you.
Shaw.
Okay, I will try to keep it brief. Concerts went well. Thunderstorms, we do have a practice where we open the EOC with the command staff only. If there's a severe thunderstorm with, what's the weather service call it? Destructive threat potential. There are 3 categories of severe thunderstorms now. So destructive is the highest, right? And so if we have a thunderstorm warning with that threat potential, the 3 command staff, we all go to EOC automatically and staff that. It worked out well on the 11th because there were 2 people who had been working at the concert with one of the vendors that did not want to drive home because they were driving west into the storm. And so we brought them down to the community room for a little while and they were able to shelter them until the tornado warning cleared. Balloon Festival, I made a note in there that not everything went as well as it could have.
Yeah.
Okay.
dropping out of the sky, effectively right on my house.
Oh, I'm not thinking from the balloon standpoint because they're fly the balloons, but, from a traffic standpoint, I found a flaw in, basically in my process for preparing for the events where I had documentation to different places. So I missed some of the prep work. We didn't get the no parking signs out. So our cover streets were just canyons. I changed the process, changed documentation, changed how we store things, so that won't happen again. Got that corrected, really by the end of that weekend, getting that straightened out. The hazard mitigation plan, every 4 years, we submit an update to the, Grand Rapids, Kent County, Ottawa County Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan. And, our update, we have some good updates, this year. There are a few different things that we put in place. And, one of those, really ties back to our revised master plan. So the fact we recently did a revision to the master plan allowed us to put things in the hazard plan saying we're tackling road safety with a focus on non-motorized pathways and more pedestrian friendly things. So city of Hudsonville looks good in the plan. I have a lot of credit, especially to planning and zoning for driving through process for the master plan and keeping you informed of what's in there.
So who actually approves it? The hazard mitigation plan,
That's a good question.
is it the county or is it the state?
I don't believe it's a state. Yeah, I know like one mine, I submitted a form, and I'm not sure there's a formal approval process. I think they take what we have and they put it into the plan. Yeah.
Any questions or discussion? Thank you, Dave, for the pleasant.
Right.
Moving on to city treasurer's monthly reports for June. Ashley pull these up, she be assured that the revenue is accurate, and there's still some accounts payable stuff that she, processing through. They find something you want to weigh in here? Yeah.
I think it's being.
That's what I was saying, I'm just going to scan everybody. Then, of course, we have the grant trackers. I want to really acknowledge the staff has been very diligent about keeping them accurate. And it's a use, hopefully it's seen as a useful piece of information for us to understand kind of funding we got. I think right now the funding for the year is $335,000, so a significant amount. You know, we our project would not happen without that kind of grant money, so they're going to be flexible on the staff. And hopefully the new finance director can take some personal interest there too. Tracking that money is available, but it doesn't come easy to file. So thank you. And then of course, there's their bond sheet there. Your bond sheet. The bond sheet, which we.
The debt,
Huh?
the debt.
Yeah.
The next payment is August 1st.
August.
Scheduled in place, so that would be the next change. Just an additional payment for August.
Very well. Any other discussions for finance? Hearing none. Move on to administration draft order number 26-02, is the motion.
For fact, December, we did, we say staff to for hardware closure and shoot from Mount Avenue to Sioux Avenue on August 6th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. for longer neighbor block party.
Sorry. Then moving supported, unfortunately, Mr. Knight did not really discuss it with us, but we can tell what this is. This is for the Love Your Neighbor block party, they very well. And this allows for them to use the road for their block party. I think there's a memo in the packet on this, in discussion on that. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion carries. Moving on to city attorney appointment. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve second PC and city plan.
So move supported, as you know, we kind of transitioned to them doing some of our secondary attorney questions for them. Recently Jessica, our former city attorney, moved into Bloomstock. So hopefully we'll see Jessica here. Some city meetings in the future. She just says that there's a lot of knowledge of what's going on in the city. So, the discussion that I've been having with Tyler was that we want to be formally appointed for the charter. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Commissioner Branson,
Yes.
Rowe,
Yeah.
Bullhead,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Camp,
Yes.
Yes, motion carried. Moving on to designated assessment. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion with approve the interval designated assessment agreement with our county commission.
Or, the move supported. I think a lot of us know Brian Musker. He's been around a lot in the city doing the assessments. We usually have our own assessor. We've chosen to contract with the county. It's a rather large agreement, a lot of signatures on how many committees are on it, so I think 10. We've been very happy with the assessment that's done. We avoided anything going to the tax review and we only have to be one by now within a year. So that speaks well of the legal battle with our property assessments. Board reviews are always really go very smoothly in our city. So we have no reason not to renew that contract. I think this renewal of the contract, Jill, I kind of read it open in. Look like we have to approve it continually or have to.
right, it's through his, employment at the county, so if he resigns, whatever, we would have.
So it's specifically for Brian. Very well.
He is also one of the election commission.
Oh,
I
I
think, other assessment.
Good. Are there any questions on that designation? Very no roll call.
Commissioner, Ray,
Yes.
Yes.
Bullhead,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Camp,
Yes.
Yes, motion carried. Moving on to item number 8, authorization to purchase Bobcat T76 compact track for the loader. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to authorize the city manager to purchase one Bobcat T76 compact track loader with the government equipment company through storage club cooperative purchasing program in the amount of $73,977. Second motion.
So the most important is quite a bit of detail in the packet on this. I did have a conversation earlier today with Vern. This is in the CIP. The current Bobcat, really at the end of life expectancy, there's really no residual value in it, maybe $50,000. But we desperately need to have this kind of equipment to support the work that the DPW does. Any questions or discussion on that? Hearing none, roll call please.
Commissioner Camp,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Bullhead,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Rowe,
Yes.
Yes, the motion carried. Authorization to purchase a pickup truck. Is there a recommended motion?
I'll make a motion to authorize the city manager to purchase one 2026 Ford F-150 Ford F-150 for commercial pickup truck. I'm the seller of commercial trucks in the Ford Fleet Government Purchase Program and $50,500.
Support. So move supported. Here again, there's a battle in the packet with weather breakdown. We know that this equipment does wear out. I did ask them what they intended to do with the old truck, and said they're going to keep it in the fleet, or they could need it. In fact, they intend to use it whenever possible to avoid using the compact track loader to try to take some of the mileage off of the compact loader. Hers seems like it would be planned on how to better manage some of our vehicles with DPW. This, I believe, is actually on the schedule for next year. It looks like they're responding to be brought forward very quickly this year. I don't have any issues. Any discussions on that? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Gray,
Yes.
Camp,
Yes.
Bogus,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Rowe,
Yeah.
Yes, motion carries. Moving on to item number 10, finance director treasurer appointment. That's the first time we need to make a motion.
Motion to appoint Mayor Jack as the city of Hudsonville treasurer, being subject to the city manager effective July 27, 2026, contingent on the successful completion of pre-employment requirements.
Been moved and supported, Andrew, want to go and support your quick? I think Andrew just kind of walked through the commission, what the process was. The interview.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we had, 5 interviews, through our first round of interviews. From there, that included, a mix of commissioners and, staff here. And then, we chose to move forward with everybody's top candidate and have a second round in, multiple steps. So the first step was for, Ashley and Steve to sit down and have an interview with Mike. And then he was given a brief tour around our city and some of our projects to get a better idea of what those projects looked like before Mayor Trump and Larry and Jack were gracious enough to lend me some of their time and take one last interview with Mike.
Very good. Thank you. Mike, you want to step forward and introduce yourself to the commission next month? We'll be sitting right over here in an absolute place that I know she's anxious.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate your confidence in that of the council, and I look forward to working with everybody here at the city. As Andrew stated, over 35 years of experience in accounting and finance, and a couple stops along the way, and some public local government work. Last stop that I had was coming out of Naples, Florida, so my wife and I thought that we wanted to make a trip down and live in Florida full time, but we missed the kids and grandkids back here in West Michigan too much. So we're back here, and I'm looking forward to this opportunity and a wonderful city of Hudsonville.
Looking forward to having you there. You're your home, we expect. Any questions, discussion from the commission? Jack, next. Larry, thank you for your dedication tonight. For the interview process, and I think it was quite productive. We looked at a lot of candidates, and you clearly rose to the top.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Motion on the floor, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Rowe,
Yes.
Bogus,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes. Yes.
Camp,
Yes.
Mayor Northside.
Yes, motion carried. Before we adjourn, I'll go down to that, Tony.
Nothing there.
Get the next week. Time. Claire? Ranking, you're good? Jack?
That's enough farmers market tomorrow for everybody who wants to come. Nice and breeze and sweat in the nice hot weather. Usually, kids, water park will be going.
Yeah, it's, you know, the water park's getting a little long, and everything I go by, the race, it's just. And when the house is dark, quite working, quite right.
I think they got it working pretty good now, but it does.
You know, there's a water park to wear out.
But the good thing is it's a good line.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to watch for. Any news on there?
No, they're in their process and, super excited to see them, do their stuff and what they want to on. It'll be a great addition.
When do we start to see work inside the building for the upgrade?
I don't know any specifics. My guess would be, see a little bit of time over there for the weeks, but they haven't scheduled that. Some maybe stuff.
Appreciate your efforts there. Thank you. It's gonna be a nice restaurant to have.
That'd be good to see far.
Ashley?
Good.
Clerk?
I was told that you're not supposed to be work session this month, so,
I'll do my best.
and then you let me know about that, and, but I obviously not, they do not do the registration defects and all of that.
Right,
So,
and Travis signature, right? Yeah. August fifth,
um,
fifth and sixth. Sorry, I'm thinking of the mayor's not. Where?
7 to 9.
Okay, yeah, I put it on there. I sent it out with this calendar, so you know.
Yep.
Anything else from the audience? Hearing none, we're adjourned. Okay, no ice.